Brice Sensabaugh has dropped 22 points per game in preseason, and he's only 6% drafted. Meanwhile, Derrick White is playing 2.5 shots per game as a guard. But before you blow your draft chasing these stats, I need to tell you which one of these preseason explosions are real and which ones are about to disappear.
Step on the court where the legends are made. Fantasy dreams where the stats get paid. Barack
Lesnar Hoops Fantasy Basketball.
Before we get started, do me a favor and smash that like button for me and subscribe to Barack Lesnar Hoops if you have not yet. If you're enjoying the content so far this season, leave me a comment below and let me know how you're enjoying it. All right, let's get right to the video. So I spent all morning working on this resource for you that you see right here, where we're going to break down the preseason anomalies, the preseason stories, and the narratives. Preseason isn't over. It's over in a couple of days, but most of these players I've analyzed have played at least 3 games, and we want to determine, is this real or is it just a mirage? All right, so let's start with the shot blockers. Derrick White. Now, I said most of these guys played at least 3 games. Derrick White has only played 2 games, but he's one of my favorite players. He's gotten you 2.5 blocks so far. Very small sample size, but Derrick White has shown us that he can be a very valuable shot blocker, especially from the point guard position, which is why I target him often. But it's not just the shot blocking. You can see there, 7.5 assists per game. He's getting you 2 threes per game, 100% from the free throw line, giving you 16 points per game, and he's doing that all in 24.5 minutes per game at an ADP of 34.2. I just wanted to point out why I love him so much as a point guard unicorn. DeAndre Ayton currently has a diamond ADP of 67.9, has been drafted in 100% of leagues, and he's getting you right now 2 blocks per game in 4 games played so far in preseason. He's getting you that in only 22.7 minutes per game. The 9 rebounds per game, that's something we expect from him. 48% from the field is actually pretty low for DeAndre Ayton. He normally does better than that. 75% from the free throw line, well, that's projecting higher than he did last season. Hopefully he can keep it around 75%. And that would help his value a lot. Along with the 2 blocks per game, he's gotten you 1.3 steals. So is this the year that we see DeAndre Ayton step it up in steals and blocks? Probably not likely. I'm going to call this a mirage, a preseason mirage. I don't think this is a guy that you want to grab for his ability to get blocks or steals. I think on occasion, like you're seeing here, he'll get you 1 or 2. But for the most part, you really want to grab him for his ability to rebound, which I think is real, his ability to score, which I think is real, and his ability to have a very high field goal percentage. I think that's real as well. A lot of discussion around Matas Buzelis, and he has delivered the goods so far in preseason. I think it's real. He's blocking 1.8 shots per game in preseason so far in 4 preseason games played. I think it's real because I think he's one of the best shot blocking small forward eligible players in fantasy basketball right now. His per minute blocks per game last season as a rookie were tremendous, and now he's going into a second year where he's going to have a lot more opportunity. It wasn't just blocks either. He got you 17.3 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game. The assist, non-existent, but 56% field goal, 87% from the free throw line, 2.3 3-pointers made. 0.3 steals, not helping me there. Again, that 1.8 blocks along with that great field goal percentage, that great free throw percentage. Young player, scoring, and has a lot of opportunity on a young team. ADP of 86.3, if you ask me, might be low. I think he has huge sleeper potential, and if you want him, you might want to pick him in the top 75 because his ADP is creeping up. Another preseason shot blocker that I think is real is Yves Missi. Has some real shot blocking potential. We saw that last year in his rookie season with the Pelicans. ADP of 131.1. In diamond leagues, drafted 79% of the time. So the secret is out on his ability to help you with blocks. He's a springy rim runner, great per minute blocks, which are going to translate, which I think is what makes him real. He's played 3 games in preseason, 21 minutes per game, 8 rebounds per game, stands out immediately, 72% from the field, 0% free throw. He is a punt free throw sort of guy. He isn't going to get you threes, isn't going to get you steals, but he can get you blocks. So if you need a traditional big man with one of your last picks, Yves Missi is going to be a great option for you. Jay Huff on the Pacers, ADP of 142.2, has been drafted 44% of the time. Has played 3 games, 15.4 minutes per game. Isn't scoring, isn't rebounding for you, but shooting 60% from the field and getting you 1.7 blocks per game and only 15 minutes per game. That translates to over 3 blocks per game if he were playing 30-plus minutes per game. That's huge shot blocking potential for a guy who might have a real path to minutes because the only guy ahead of him is really Isaiah Jackson. So Jay Huff could play himself into 20 plus minutes per game. And you can see here, he can get you 1.5 or more blocks per game in those limited minutes. Jalen Williams has had a tremendous preseason so far. He appears twice in this video, but right now we're discussing blocks. He's played 3 games, and in those 3 games, he's blocked 2.3 blocks per game. Now, to me, this is a mirage. While you know I love me a guy that can get you a whole lot of threes and a whole lot of blocks, I just don't think there's enough meat on the bone as far as Jalen Williams' potential to help your fantasy basketball team on an Oklahoma City Thunder team that is absolutely stacked. The front court is stacked. I just don't see where he gets enough minutes to be useful. It looks real Mirage-like. It looks like smoke and mirrors, and I'm not fully trusting it. The last shot blocker I want to call out is Koga Bataze. Tremendous shot blocker. The thing is, he barely gets minutes, but in 16.3 minutes so far in preseason, in the 3 games he has played, he's gotten you 2 blocks per game. He has shown that potential repeatedly. Anytime there's been an injury to somebody like Wendell Carter and he stepped up and started playing 25 plus minutes, he's shown you the shot blocking potential. He's shown you rebounding potential. The problem is he's never had a significant enough role to do it consistently for the entire season. So I'm going to say it's real, but he's probably not going to be more than a block streamer, rebounding streamer, unless there is an injury to the front court on the Orlando Magic. So moving on to our next category, we're going to discuss everybody's favorite category, the scorers. So in preseason right now, Shaedon Sharpe, ADP of 91.9, 100% drafted, is dropping 19 points per game. I think he's going to have a decent amount of usage. I think he's going to have a lot of touches, a lot of shots. So I think this is real production. I think we might see him score this during the regular season. He's getting 25.3 minutes per game in preseason. Is he being efficient? 48% from the field. I would say yes. The free throw line, though, 54%. Not a huge fan of that. I don't like guys that hurt my free throw percentage, which is why I tend to avoid him, even though I do believe in his upside. The 2.3 3-pointers made and the steal, that's pretty nice as well. So if you want a score towards pick 100, you can grab this guy around 92. The upside is there. The opportunity is there on a young Blazers team that might give him the keys to the offense. Jabari Smith Jr., I'm a big believer of the guy. I know he's been very inconsistent throughout his career, but Jabari Smith Jr. so far in preseason, 17.7 points per game, getting you 3 3-pointers made per game. I love that combination. And 90% from the free throw line from a big man. He's not a guy that's going to get you any rebounds or assists. Don't count on that. But the percentages, the ability to score, the ability to hit threes from the big man position, and he's done that in 3 games. Will he continue to produce like that during the regular season? They have Kevin Durant now, man. I think Kevin Durant is going to open up the game for a lot of these guys because just the amount of attention Kevin Durant draws is something they haven't had. Brice Sensabaugh, I think a mirage, man. He's dropping 22 points per game in preseason in 3 games played, playing 24.3 minutes per game, shooting 55% from the field, 92% from the free throw line. That is spicy, hot, scorching production. Is it real, though? I have to call it a mirage, not because I don't think he's able to do this consistently. I just don't know that the role is there for him. But do we keep him on the watch list? Absolutely. I would even call him a wild card because if he manages to play his way into 25 plus minutes per game, the guy's barely being drafted right now. He's only been drafted in 6% of leagues, which means he's widely available. But the thing is, he probably will be widely available on your waiver wire when the season starts, so you don't have to draft him. But keep an eye on him. And the last guy on my scorers list is Wendell Carter Jr., Diamond ADP of 142.1, has been drafted in 48% of leagues, 14 points per game and only 15.9 minutes per game. That projects if he were playing 32 minutes per game, you're looking at a 28 point per game score, shooting 65% from the field and getting you 7.3 rebounds per game, 90% from the free throw line, getting you a block and getting you a 3. It's preseason production, but the guy has an ADP of 142.1. If you're thin on big men and you want to take a chance on a big that has some upside, and not only that, Orlando has a very strong fantasy basketball playoff schedule. So all of those things considered, Wendell Carter Jr. makes a lot of sense. We're moving forward to the big men again, the land of rebounds. Who are the players in preseason that are grabbing those boards and helping their team win? So DeAndre Ayton is back on our list, again, showing out during preseason with 9 rebounds per game and 22.7 minutes per game. This is totally real. Rebounding is part of his arsenal, and I think he's going to get a ton of rebounds playing on a Lakers team that has some chuckers and heavy usage players that are going to take a ton of shots, and I think he's going to clean up. They needed a legit center. They have a legit center. Austin Reeves is going to help him. LeBron is going to help him. I predict DeAndre Ayton might have an all-star level season, especially being with the Lakers, the most popular market in the NBA. That could help, but if he does 18 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, and somehow manages to continue get you this level of steals and blocks, I don't think it's unrealistic at all. I think it's very realistic. Khalil Ware, very real production so far. Diamond ADP of 83.5, 100% drafted, is getting you 11 rebounds per game in 22.4 minutes per game, and has done that in 5 games played. Not only is he rebounding, he's also scoring, getting you 17.4 points per game. I think the rebounding is real. The shooting 51% from the field, 75% from the free throw line, 1.6 3-pointers made. Very nice to see from a big man. 1 steal per game, only 0.4 blocks. Definitely want to see more blocks from a big man. But if he could sustain this production throughout the regular season, that ADP of 83.5 is probably low. Mitchell Robinson with the New York Knicks is 31% owned right now, ADP of 138.4. If you're towards the end of your draft and you want to gamble on a big man that can rebound, get you some steals, get you some blocks, and put up traditional big man numbers, and by that I mean high field goal percentage, low free throw percentage, Mitchell Robinson is a decent option. If you have him as a 5th big, you're probably in good shape. If he's your 3rd best big, you probably went a little too thin on centers. The issue with him is he's constantly injured all the time. He probably will be injured again. Hopefully with a new coach in Mike Brown that won't play his players to the bone, hopefully he can stay healthier and produce longer term. Yusuf Nurkic, Diamond ADP of 139.3, only 4% drafted, is getting you 9 rebounds per game so far in preseason, along with 3.7 assists per game, 66% from the field. The free throw percentage is atrocious, but he's getting you some threes from the big man position. Did it in 3 games played. Now the issue is he is on a Jazz team that plays a lot of games, and with him being an aging veteran, I don't know how competitive that Jazz team is going to be this season. It's been a headache owning Jazz players the last 2 years. So while the production is realish, I'm not counting on it. These next guys are the most helpful ones in the NBA. They're always assisting, and we love that. Here are the top assist guys in preseason. And first on our list is Baby Jokic, Alperen Şengün, with 8.7 assists per game from the big man position. He's only played 3 games, but in 24.1 minutes per game is getting 13 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, 8.7 assists, 52% from the field, 100% from the free throw line, only 0.7 3-pointers made, getting you 2 steals. We might see him again later because of that, and 1 block per game. Is the 8.7 assists sustainable for him? Probably much higher than it's going to be, but can he get you 6 to 7 consistently, especially playing with Kevin Durant? Especially now that Fred VanVleet is injured and they might put the ball in his hands more. I like the possibilities. Derrick White is back on the list with 7.5 assists per game and 24.5 minutes per game. I think that's very real. With the injury to Jason Tatum, he's going to have a ton of usage. He's going to have the ball in his hands, and he's a great player when he has the ball in his hands, and he's a great player when he doesn't have the ball, which means he's going to get playing time. He's a great defender. That 7.5 to 8 assists per game, I think, is the very real deal. I would target him in the top 30. I've been targeting him with my 3rd pick. I think he's that good. Keontae George, 6.3 assists per game in 28.9 minutes per game. Love to see the field goal percentage at 46% because normally that's an area where he could really hurt you. 71% from the free throw line, not ideal. 1.3 3-pointers made, a little low for a guard. Barely any steals, no blocks. But the assist numbers, I really like that. On a Jazz team that's probably going to prioritize his development, I can see him continuing to get a lot of minutes, a lot of usage, continue to get you 6+ assists per game. Now, if he can maintain that field goal percentage around 45 instead of the 40% or lower than you normally get with him, I think he can beat that ADP of 119. He's drafted in 99% of leagues, so people believe in his potential. Rob Dillingham, 6.8 assists per game so far in preseason. I think he's a wild card. Mike Conley is going up there in age. While I believe in Dante DiVincenzo, he's been very inconsistent. So can he slide in through the back door and get some minutes and actually help you with your assist? I wouldn't gamble on him during the draft, but put him on the watch list, see how those minutes shake out once the season starts. If Mike Conley misses any time or DiVincenzo misses any time, this could be a guy that gets streamed all season long to help with assists. So keep him on your watch list at the very least. Someone called the cops because these guys love to steal. Alperen Şengün is back again with 2 steals per game. Is that sustainable? He's a career 1.1 steals guy, so this could be just natural progression in his ability as a defender as he grows into his body. But I don't think that's a category you want to draft him for. It's a nice to have if he continues to do that, but really target him for his ability to score, rebound, get you assist, hopefully on decent percentages. And if he gets you steals, that's a very nice bonus that would definitely boost his ADP from 21.1. Zion Williamson, now much more fit, looks like a pirate now. And because of his fitness improving significantly, that might be part of the reason why we're seeing him get 3 steals per game. Has played 3 games in 17.9 minutes per game, getting 12 points per game, 4 assists per game, 58% from the field, 61% from the free throw line. That's damaging, but the other areas are pretty good. 3 steals, 0.7 blocks, and only 17.9 minutes per game. I don't know how sustainable those steals are, so I'm going to call that a mirage. If you're going to grab Zion Williamson, do it because you want his scoring, his rebounding, his assist potential, his high field goal percentage, but just keep in mind he's going to hurt your free throw percentage. Cason Wallace, ADP of 126.4, 85% drafted. He's getting 2.3 steals per game in 4 preseason games. Guys, that is real production. Not only is he getting you the 2.3 steals per game, but he's a guy that typically is going to get you a few blocks. He's going to get you decent percentages. He contributes across the board, and I think we might see a leap from him this season. Trey Jones of the Chicago Bulls with an ADP of 144.6, only 2% drafted, is getting you 2.7 steals per game across 3 preseason games so far, playing 22.4 minutes per game, getting you 5 assists per game, 80% from the free throw line, barely any threes. That 5 assists and 2.7 steals, keep an eye on that. Right now, I'm calling it a mirage because I don't know what his role on that Chicago Bulls team is. But until I see further confirmation of how big his role is, how many minutes he's getting consistently, I'm going to have to watch from a distance right now because Kobe White is probably going to get the lion's share of the point guard minutes. And then lastly, there's some lift driver named Chucky Hepburn that's getting 2.8 steals per game for Toronto in preseason. 4 games played so far, only 14.9 minutes per game. But in those 14.9 minutes per game, getting 2.8 steals. So I'm going to call it a mirage, but put him on your watch list. If you see during the regular season that he is getting minutes, steals might actually translate. I've seen it before with lots of other players. Devin Vassell comes to mind. I made a very similar video to this one a few years ago, and Devin Vassell, his rookie season in preseason, was leading preseason in steals per game, and he's ended up being a pretty good ball thief throughout his career so far. So sometimes it's good to gamble on this production because you are able to discover guys that break out before everybody else has discovered them. And this is one of the ways you're able to do that. And the last category we're going to break down for this video is the guys that are taking and hitting a ton of 3-pointers so far in preseason. And he's back on my list. Jabari Smith Jr. hitting 3 3-pointers on 47% shooting. 3 games played, 23.3 minutes per game, 17.7 points per game, 3 3-pointers made from a power forward center eligible player. That could be league winning stuff for you, especially if he can continue with that high free throw percentage. So right now, ADP 121.7, 99% drafted. If you need a big man with upside and potential, target Jabari Smith Jr. late in your draft. Jalen Wells right now in preseason is hitting 2.7 3-pointers made per game. Right now, ADP of 136.3, 69% drafted, 81% from the free throw line. Love that. 42% from the field. Not great, but if he's hitting 3+ 3-pointers per game, which is realistic if he's hitting 2.7 in only 24 minutes per game, I probably won't be picking him much. I think there's slightly more exciting options that I want to target. But if you need the threes potential and the upside on a Memphis team, maybe that's still trying to find its identity, then Jalen Wells might be your guy. Brice Sensabaugh is back on our list with 3.7 3-pointers made across 3 preseason games and 24.3 minutes per game. We said it before, we're going to call it a mirage until we can see him have a more consistent role. I'm definitely putting him on my watch list, though. Julian Champagny of the San Antonio Spurs, I believe his brother plays for the Wizards, but Julian specifically is making 3.5 3-pointers made in only 21.1 minutes per game. I think the shooting is real, but I don't think he'll get enough minutes, enough touches, enough shots to get you 3.5 3-pointers made. He's shooting 58% on those 3-pointers, which is bonkers. So that means there will be a role for him. But I think it'll be a limited role play, maybe 14, 15 minutes per game to stretch the floor when the starters are resting. I don't think he'll get enough minutes to be more than a streamer for 3-pointers. But again, another guy you can put on that watch list and keep an eye on if there's any injuries on that Spurs team. You can rush and pick this guy up, and you're probably going to get a ton of threes quickly from him. Johnny Juzang of the Minnesota Timberwolves, 4 games played, 16.7 minutes per game, and hitting 3.5 3-pointers made, 52% from the field. Is that sustainable? I'm calling it a mirage for right now. Jalen Williams is back on this list. He was on the list before for his shot blocking, but he's also hitting 3 3-pointers made per game across 3 games. I love those unicorns that can get you threes and blocks. And that might be a profile for Jalen Williams moving forward. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him, especially if Chet Holmgren gets injured. He might be one of the biggest value grabs that you can get in that scenario. AJ Green with the Milwaukee Bucks. I think he has real streaming upside. He's hitting 3 3-pointers made right now, 20.4 minutes per game across 4 games in preseason, 48% from the field, 100% from the free throw line. And I think AJ Green could play himself into a significant role on a Bucks team that is still trying to find its identity after losing Damian Lillard. Lillard is gone. They've got rid of Brook Lopez. Miles Turner is now on this team. They haven't found their identity. I don't think they'll find their identity for a few months. So that lack of identity, as the Bucks figure out who they are, what they want to be, I think AJ Green could be one of those beneficiaries that steps up and ends up helping your team out, maybe even as more than a streamer. I wouldn't be shocked to see a Christian Braun-like leap from him this very season. Quentin Post, big man for the Golden State Warriors, hitting 2.8 3-pointers made per game across 4 games played, 13 points per game. Is that sustainable? I don't think so. But the Warriors have a pretty nice playoff schedule, and they have an aging team as well. So they also have Al Horford as their center, and Al Horford is like 100 years old now. So Quentin Post, at the very least, put him on a watch list. Keep an eye out on any injuries or rest games for Al Horford. But right now, calling that a mirage. I really hope you found that breakdown helpful. Another breakdown I think you'll find helpful is this one. My official draft guide for Barack Lesnar Hoops, again, by a proven 11-time Diamond Tier champion, 955 Diamond rating last season, 66.2 win rate with 1,599 career wins. So what do you get with this guide? 150 plus player rankings, 50 plus undervalued targets, playoff schedule intel, color coded to show you which players get 12, 10, 11, or 9 games during the playoffs when you need them most. And we also discuss championship strategies, punt build blueprints, turnover mastery, manipulating the scarcity in your league, and all of this advice, again, from an 11-time champion. You get all of this. You get unicorn advantage. You get my championship framework, what I apply. All of this condensed into a guide that you can pay $9.99 for. Take it into your draft with you
and dominate the competition.
All right, guys, that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do me a favor, smash that like button, click that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and that bell notification so you can be alerted when these videos drop. Until next time, this is Barack Lesnar of Barack Lesnar Hoops. See ya.
The jersey pops, right? Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere till the game lets you in. I'll just keep this ball busy, keep the hat straight, make sure the graphics stay sharp for you. When the tip-off hits, remember